Hello everyone, I would like to address some mistakes I made in a previous video. A while ago I made this video, the 3000 mile sun model destroyed in 5 minutes again, which was based upon a video by flat earthers in which they use a lot of video footage to destroy the flat earth 3000 mile sun model, and I wanted to see if the geometry would prove them right. So in that video I used this picture, and in this picture I claim the North Pole and the South Pole are 3,959 miles apart. Basically everything about this picture is wrong. The scale is wrong, the distances are wrong, the sun angles are wrong, it's completely wrong. I used the radius of the Earth, 3,959 miles, and I shouldn't have used it. I shouldn't even have used the diameter, which would have been the correct distance from the North Pole to the South Pole if you use a cut through. But the flat Earth map is a flattened out version of the globe, so I should have used the surface, and then from the North Pole to the South Pole over the surface the distance is 12,450 miles. That would change the picture completely. As you can see, the altitude between the surface and the sun path is a lot lower. The scale now is correct. The distance between the North Pole and the South Pole is 12,450 miles. I drew this over 24.9 centimeters, which would mean that every mile is, or every centimeter is 500 miles. The altitude is 6 centimeters, which would mean 3,000 miles, so that would be correct as well. And this doesn't mean that the sun model is correct. The 3,000 mile sun model still is nonsense. The lowest sun angle you could get is 20 degrees if you're in the center of the North Pole and the sun was over the Tropic of Capricorn. So even with these lower angles, you would still not see the sun set below the horizon. This still is absolutely impossible with the 3,000 mile sun model if you use the correct geometry or not. Now I know there are some flat earthers like a guy called p-brane who think that even if you use the geometry correctly, then still it doesn't represent what we see. The geometry is still wrong. Even if you apply the science correctly, it doesn't show what we actually see. And then they use the word most often used in the Flat Earth Dictionary, what about perspective? And they say, well, if you look to the horizon, you would see everything converge on the horizon. So you would need convergence lines. But even if you draw your convergence lines into your landscape or in the sky, then still you wouldn't see the sun set over the horizon. It's practically impossible to see that happen. This picture totally isn't to scale, as the sun would be at 3,000 miles and this guy would be about 6 feet high. So at 6 feet high, your horizon would be at 3 miles. So even if the sun was directly over you, your horizon would be 3 miles away. The sun doesn't sink from an altitude from 3,000 miles over the convergence lines in 3 miles to sink down below your horizon. It just doesn't happen. So the distances are way too long, way too far for the sun to sink below the horizon over such a short distance. It just doesn't happen. This is impossible on the flat Earth with the flat Earth model. So no matter what science you would use, or even if they would say, well, the perspective would change everything about the science, it just doesn't happen. Sun model still debunked. I just made some mistakes. It happens, but it doesn't mean that suddenly the Earth went from a globe to a flat plane. It just doesn't happen. Thanks for watching.